A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move that has ignited controversy and debate, the White House has formally requested Congress to rescind approximately $9.4 billion in previously approved funding. This significant proposal targets major public broadcasting entities such as NPR and PBS, alongside substantial cuts to international aid. The rescission package, as outlined by the administration, aims to make permanent some of the spending cuts initiated by the Department of Government Efficiency. The proposed cuts include a hefty $1.1 billion reduction for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is responsible for funding NPR and PBS. The White House has been vocal in its criticism of these public entities, claiming that they have been funded by taxpayers for too long and have disseminated what they describe as radical, woke propaganda disguised as news. For context, PBS received $325 million in funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting this year alone. Moreover, the package seeks to slash an astonishing $8.3 billion from the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. This agency has become a focal point for the current administration, which attempted to shutter it earlier this year. The Office of Management and Budget Director, RusFOD, has characterized the foreign aid provided by USAID as wasteful, alleging that it promotes weaponized cultural indoctrination in other nations. Each year, Congress is responsible for approving funding to sustain the federal government, and while the president can defer or withhold funds, this action requires congressional approval. The rescission process allows Congress to cancel funding that has been approved but not yet utilized. However, it's important to note that only discretionary funds can be rescinded. Mandatory spending such as Social Security and Medicare remains untouched. In the Senate, rescission bills are subject to a simpler voting process, requiring only a simple majority rather than the typical 60-vote threshold needed for most legislation. The White House's request for rescission initiates a 45-day window for Congress to act, beginning with committee consideration before moving to full votes in both the House and Senate. Republicans in Congress have expressed eagerness to engage in the rescission process, with deficit hawks criticizing Washington's spending habits. House Speaker Mike Johnson has committed to fast-tracking the legislation to codify these cuts, stating that the House is ready to act on the findings of the Department of Government Efficiency. Johnson emphasized the need to deliver further cuts to what he termed big government, aligning with President Trump's agenda and the demands of the American public. However, the path forward for this rescission package remains uncertain. While Congress has utilized rescission to reallocate unspent funds in the past, requests from the White House for rescission are less common. A notable instance occurred during the first Trump administration when the Senate rejected a rescission package seeking nearly $15 billion in cuts. As fiscal hawks advocate for these cuts, they are concurrently navigating a significant legislative package critical to President Trump's agenda, titled One Big Beautiful Bill. This bill proposes funding for tax cuts, border security, and defense, but its price tag could balloon the national debt by approximately $3 trillion, overshadowing the potential savings from the rescission package. Senator Rand Paul, a Republican from Kentucky and a vocal critic of additional spending, has voiced his support for the rescission package, referring to the targeted funds as the low-hanging fruit. However, he has also acknowledged that the overall impact on the deficit would be minimal, stating, "This is very, very small. It really doesn't materially change the course of the country." As the political landscape continues to evolve, the implications of the White House's rescission request will undoubtedly be a focal point of discussion in the coming weeks. Lawmakers will need to weigh the benefits of these proposed cuts against the potential repercussions for public broadcasting and international aid programs, all while navigating a complex legislative environment. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.